Hi students, welcome to VerandaRace, and today's session is the Hindu editorial focus on vocabulary with the 7th March editorial discussion. In this discussion, I'll be describing each and every word. Most of the words I'll be describing, and what I've done is I have highlighted certain words and underlined certain words. So those words which are highlighted are important in meanings, and you have to give me the replacement of those words which are underlined. You have to give me the replacement of those words which are underlined. So let us start the session without much ado. And let me tell you, with this session you'll be getting the rules of tenses, 10 rules of tenses attached to this YouTube link after the session is over. You'll get the link of the PDF with this session after the session is over. So let us start this session. So it is Heartland Notes. The heading is Heartland Notes. So let us start the session, and you have to give me the replacement of those words which are underlined. Replacement of those words which are underlined. So let us start the session without much trouble. So lead actors in Uttar Pradesh were repositioning themselves in the last lap of the assembly elections that are concluding with the 7th and last phase on March 7. The lead actors means the principal players in Uttar Pradesh were repositioning. So repositioning, the closest synonym which I can get is relocating. Relocating. See, relocating also means shifting to a different place. But here relocating will means to reposition yourself means to put yourself in a position where you look superior to your competitors. That is relocating kind of. So lead actors in Uttar Pradesh were migrating. Yeah, Danny, correct. Migrating, relocating are better words. So Danny, long time no see. Migrating. migrating. Migrating is a good word. Themselves in the last lap of the assembly elections that are concluding. So that will be, concluding will be like ending. Ending is a good word. So that are concluding. Ending on the 7th and the last phase of March 7. Fine. Well, the voter participation across the first 5 phases was close to the 2017 level despite pandemic related restrictions on campaigning. So simple word for restriction would be prohibitions, and for campaigning it can be canvassing. Canvassing is a good word. Canvassing means when somebody is campaigning for you, canvassing for you. So don't forget to download the PDF on tenses rules with this YouTube link. So canvassing. So the word would be canvassing. 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 So the passage till now. Good evening, Danny Vijay Balan. Yeah. Lead actors in Uttar Pradesh were relocating, migrating themselves in the last lap of the assembly elections that are ending with the 7th and the last phase on March 7th. The voter participation across the first 5 phases was close to the 2017 level despite pandemic related prohibitions on canvassing or campaigning. So, in the last week, the war in Ukraine also entered campaign conversations. Conversation means during the last week, the war in Ukraine also entered the campaign conversations. So, conversation would be replaced by word like talks. Talks is a better option. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi tried to reach out to people from the state directly affected by the war. Affected means influence is a good word. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi tried to reach out to people from the state directly affected by the war. He also acknowledged. So acknowledged would be replaced by admitted. That's fine. I think fine with you all. Admitted. So he also admitted the serious problem of stray cattle caused by the short-sighted cow protection policy. Short-sighted. So Narendra Modi accepted the serious problem of stray cattle caused by the myopic. Short-sighted means myopic. So short-sightedness is myopia. So sighted will be myopic. Myopic means when you see the things which are closer to you but don't see about the future. Don't foresee the future. That's called a short-sighted view. Short-sighted policy. So he also admitted the serious problem of stray cattle caused by the myopic cow protection policy that was executed by the BJP government in the state. So there was a cow protection policy that was executed in the BJP government in the state. So executed, implemented can be replaced by executed. The party appeared defensive. Appeared means seemed, S-E-E-M-E-D, seemed. The party seemed defensive on the question of unemployment while gaining support for better law and order. The party seemed defensive on the question of unemployment while gaining support. Gaining support means garnering. Here it can be garnering, G-A-R-N-E-R-I-N-G, garnering support for better law and order and welfare schemes. So, when the question of unemployment rose up, the party seemed defensive while gaining support for the better law and order and welfare schemes. So, it gained support for better law and order and welfare schemes. The party means the BJP. So, if re-elected, it has promised, means BJP has promised more welfare schemes. So, welfare can be well-being schemes. Well-being. Welfare can be appears, looks like. Correct. Welfare will be replaced by well-being. Well-being schemes such as a wedding gift of 1 lakh for girls from BPL families. So, if BJP is elected, it has promised more welfare schemes such as a wedding gift of 1 lakh rupees for girls from below poverty line families. So, we have understood that as the lead actors in Uttar Pradesh are relocating themselves in the last lap of the assembly elections with the 7th and last phase of March 7. And the voter participation across the first 5 phases was close to the 2017 level despite restrictions on campaigning. In the last week, the Ukraine conversation was also there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tried to reach to the people from the state directly affected by the war. He also admitted that there was a serious problem of stray cattle caused by the myopic cow protection policy that was executed by the BJP government in the state. The party seemed to be looked like defensive on the question of unemployment while gaining support for better law and order and welfare schemes. The government has promised, the BJP has promised that if it is re-elected, it will do more well-being or welfare schemes such as a wedding gift of 1 lakh for girls below poverty line. Okay, so let's move ahead. Here we'll move to the next segment. Samajwadi Party SP leader Akhilesh Yadav took note of the potency of welfare schemes for the BJP and sought to counter it by offering more. Took note means here took note of the potency means strength. So BJP gave a certain strength. BJP gave a welfare scheme like giving 1 lakh to girls for below poverty lines. So to Akhilesh Yadav, noted down, you can say took note means noted down, or you can say marked it, took noted down or marked it, the strength of welfare schemes for the BJP and decided, sought to means decided to counter this offer by offering more. BJP gave one offer, so Akhilesh Yadav decided to counter this offer by offering more. So he has promised 5 years of free rations. He has promised 5 years of free rations to the poor that will include ghee, lentils and other items. He has also striven. Striven means the V3 of strove, striven. Striving means trying to achieve something, trying to do something substantial. That's known as striving. So he has also striven hard to overcome. Overcome can be replaced by a word, for example, he has striven hard. He also striven hard to overcome the labeling. Labeling is like tagging. You can replace the word labeling by tagging. T-A-G-G-I-N-G, tagging. I am new to this channel. Kindly explain what is this, sir. This is Hindu editorial we are discussing, and we are replacing those words which are underlined with a different word. For example, we have replaced labeling with tagging. We have replaced took note of by noted down. We are yet to replace overcome by some other word. You can give me a hint what to do about that. So striven hard to overcome means win over. The tagging by expanding his social base. That he stood for one caste and one community, the Yadavas and the Muslims. So he is trying to overcome the tagging which is given to the Akhilesh Yadav that he only stands for Yadavas and Muslims. So stood for will be replaced by represented, that he represented. Labeling, naming, correct, naming, tagging, both are well good. So by expanding his social base, that he stood for, represented for one caste and one community, the Yadavas and Muslims. So he has tried hard to win over or overcome the labeling. Labeling means tagging. By expanding his social base, that he stood for, represented one caste and one community, the Yadavas and Muslims. The question is whether he has marshalled enough public support to unseat the BJP that has 3/4 of the seats in the outgoing assembly. So BJP has 3/4 of the seats in the outgoing assembly, that's the UP assembly. So the question is whether he has marshalled. Marshal means collected. Collected is better word. Collected enough public support. Marshal means collected. The best word will be collected. Enough public support to unseat means remove. Remove the BJP that has 3/4 of the seats in the outgoing assembly. The burden of the Samajwadi party's past regime. Past regime means past government. Government. The burden of the SP's past government perceived. Perceived means understood, or here it will mean like the burden of the SP's past regime, past government perceived as corrupt and protective of the criminals. Protective means, so the burden of the SP's past, Samajwadi party's past regime perceived as corrupt and protective of the criminals. Disrupts means disturbs his momentum. His momentum means Akhilesh Yadav's momentum. So we have to find the words for protective of criminals. So protecting is the best word. One who is protecting the criminals is basically protective. Perceived means of the impression. So past regime of the impression as corrupt and protecting criminals disturbs his momentum. Regardless of who wins. So regardless can be replaced by irrespective of who wins. The outcome on March 10 will create ripples beyond the state's boundaries. So whatever the results come out on, so outcome will be results on March 10 will create waves. Ripples can be replaced by waves, WAVES, beyond the state's boundaries. So whatever results come on March 10 will create ripples which will be beyond the state's boundaries. The results will influence the course of national politics. Course will be direction or route, ROUTE. The course or route of national politics, particularly the efforts to create a common platform of regional parties opposed to the BJP being spearheaded by. So the results will influence the course, the direction or the route of national politics, particularly the efforts to create a common platform. So platform can be replaced by what word? Common platform of regional parties opposed to the BJP. Parties opposed to. So it can be like common platform. Create a common platform of regional parties opposed to the BJP being spearheaded. Spearheaded is simply led by Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. So we have to find a word for common platform and opposed to the BJP. So let's find the synonym for platform. Common place or a common platform can be replaced by a common platform. We can have a word like common platform. Let me think of the word. We'll come back to it. So the results will influence the course, the direction of national politics, particularly the efforts to create a common place of regional parties opposed to the BJP being led by Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. So yeah, for platform you can have a word like battleground. Perfect. Led by, perfect. So it will be like battleground, common battleground of regional parties opposed to the BJP being led by Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. So moving ahead to the last part of the paragraph, which says Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi made a mark. Made a mark means succeeded in the campaign. So if you say somebody made a mark, it is succeeded in the campaign, though nobody is betting on the fortunes of the Congress in the state. So Priyanka Gandhi was successful in the campaign, succeeded in the campaign, though nobody is betting on the fortunes. Betting means taking a chance. We can say taking a chance. The best replacement will be taking a chance. So succeeded in the campaign, though nobody is taking a chance on the fortunes of the Congress in the state. The Bahujan Samaj Party and the BJP had a public show of mutual warmth. So there was a mutual warmth between BJP and Bahujan Samaj, BSP and BJP, and the political meaning of that would be mutual warmth means what? Mutual means towards each other. Warmth means a kind of friendship. So we can say a better word for mutual warmth would be common friendship. We can say that common friendship, and the political meaning of that will become clearer in the post-poll scenario. So scenario word will be situation, post-poll situation. All these moves will largely depend on whether or not the fundamentals of the BJP politics in its biggest stronghold will be challenged. So fundamentals here will mean manifesto. I think fundamentals means manifesto. Manifesto is the like a set of rules which are followed by a particular political party. So all these moves will largely depend on the whether the fundamentals, the manifesto of the BJP politics in its biggest stronghold. Warmth means enthusiasm. Yeah, it's correct. Enthusiasm is a good option. So warmth is enthusiasm. Yeah, correct. So all these moves will largely depend on whether or not the manifesto of the BJP politics in its biggest stronghold. Stronghold can be replaced by which word? Biggest stronghold will be challenged. Base. Biggest base. Base is a better word. Stronghold will be challenged. The BJP has not faced a setback. Setback means loss. The BJP has not faced a setback in UP since 2014, and 1/5 of its sitting Lok Sabha members are elected from this one state. Okay. If the Samajwadi Party's social justice politics upset the BJP's Hindutva parade, if the SP's Samajwadi Party's social justice politics upset the BJP's Hindutva parade, so parade can be replaced by movement, Hindutva movement. It will mark the return of the politics of the 90s in the it will mark the return of the politics of the 1990s in the heartland. So heartland would mean the center kind of thing. Heartland would mean center. Then heartland, center. Cornerstone, stronghold. Cornerstone, yeah, it's a good word. Cornerstone. Biggest stronghold will be. So it's like base, means when you say it was BJP's stronghold, it was BJP's base. Here it means the base. So what? Give me a word for heartland. Give me a word for parade. Like if SP's social justice politics upset the BJP's Hindutva parade, it will mark a return of the politics of the 90s in the heartland. The sheer means what? Sheer means complete. Heartland, important part of a country. Yeah, correct. Yeah, the center of, you can say, of the country. Center means, heartland means the important part of the nation, again the center kind of thing. So UP is considered to be the heartland for that matter. So this sheer possibility, sheer also means complete. Sheer means complete, absolute. Sheer means complete, absolute. So sheer, you mean by sheer, Rajeshwari, as only? No, sheer means complete and absolute. The sheer possibility, however, indistinct means insignificant. Insignificant. Give me a word for parade. Hindutva parade. So the complete possibility, however indistinct, however insignificant it might be, makes UP a very consequential crucible of Indian politics. Very consequential. So crucible would mean, consequential means important, and crucible means something which is again very important. Kind of a consequential crucible of India. So crucible will here mean the fighting arena kind of thing, arena. If you could confirm, yeah. So consequential crucible of Indian politics. Crucible will mean arena or the arsenal, we can say. Consequential means which is important, very important, consequence of something. Consequential crucible of India, which will be remembered for always, which will be always be remembered for its performance. So don't forget to download the tenses rules given with this YouTube link. I'm sure you will download it. Altar, correct. Army, parade, army, correct. Crucial, public procession, correct. Somebody said altar for Rakshana says altar for platform. That's correct. Okay. So please download this tenses PDF with this link. You'll get the link afterwards. I think I must end the session now. I hope you enjoyed the session a lot. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can post on the link itself on the comment box. I would try to answer it as soon as possible. Thank you.